The Wall Street crash of 1929, also known as Black Tuesday, delivered one of the harshest blows, if not the harshest blow, to the United States' economy. This stock market crash had many consequences to the US and later the world, taking into account that it was one of the causes of the Great Depression. World War I played a huge role in the Roaring Twenties era, which was a time of social change and economic prosperity throughout the US. Here, the U.S. shifts from a position of debtor nation to lender nation, and it's interesting to note that the amount of money lost in the crash was only $2 million less than in the war. World War I would be an event that would change women's lives permanently. The amount of effort that was put in by women in the labor force during the war proved that they could not only hold up the fort by replacing men while they were away at war, but they could perform the same tasks, and maybe with the support they provided back at home playing a major role in the war, remaining opposition to women's suffrage movement in the U.S. broke down, being supported by both major political parties as of 1918, and only 2 years later, at the start of a new decade, of a new era, women were granted the right to vote, setting them on their journey to becoming equal individuals. And in come the Roaring Twenties, a period of social change and empowerment for both women and African Americans. Alcohol prohibition added fuel to the fire, and jazz music, speakeasies, and endless nights characterized the youth of the era. During the economic boom of the 20s, the Industrial Revolution and urbanization in the U.S. were in full bloom. Some of the most important mass productions to mention are radios, cars, cinemas, and most importantly, iron and steel. The profit taken from iron and steel made thousands of Americans invest in the stock market. This was known as speculation, a financial action that doesn't promise the safety of the initial investment. This led many people to borrow money to buy more stocks. By August 1929, brokers were lending small investors more than two-thirds the face value of the stocks they were buying. Over $8.5 million were out on loan, more than the entire amount of currency circulating around the U.S. at the time. After a mini-crash in March of 1929, despite various attempts from bankers and financially powerful people like Rockefeller to halt this disaster from happening, in October, it finally happened. The crash happened after a long period of rising market growth that led to consumer overconfidence. Due to the crash, there was an enormous reduction in the worldwide gross domestic product, and the impact was widespread. Britain at the time was a major exporting country, so when the crisis hit, the country was badly affected. This was only the start of a decade of hardships and high unemployment levels in Britain, the U.S., and all over the world.